I mentioned at the start of the show I wanted to talk about economics in the United States. There's a fascinating piece in The Economist, the current issue of The Economist. It's a weekly magazine. It's titled The Problem with Profits. You've heard me say many times in this program, I am not an anti-capitalist. I've never been a capitalist. Capitalists are people who live off their invested capital. I've started a bunch of businesses. I'm an entrepreneur. In fact, I haven't really been an employee of anybody since I was a teenager, arguably, with the exception, I guess, of 5 years in Portland, 4 or 5 years in Portland, that I did a morning show for KPOJ. I actually drew a paycheck from Clear Channel for that morning show. But as far as I know, that's the only time I've been an employee. And I mean, even when I was doing my show for Air America, this show, I owned the show and I simply licensed it to them, which is typically what I do. So I'm not a capitalist. I've never been a capitalist. Most Americans who think that they're capitalists don't understand the word. What they're supporting is a capitalist economic system. And I keep saying, I don't have a problem with a capitalist economic system as long as it's well regulated. As long as you can balance the power of capital by the power of employees and by the power of the people. So anyhow, The Economist writes, aggregate domestic profits are at near record levels. Now, this is about the United States. Near record levels relative to GDP. America is meant to be the temple of free enterprise. It isn't. This is an editorial from the editorial board of The Economist. A very profitable American firm has an 80% chance of being very profitable 10 years later. In the 1990s, the odds were only about 50%. Why? It used to be that, if you were very profitable, somebody came along and said, hey, somebody's making some money, let's do the same. Well, now, because of consolidation, and this is what they say. They say high profits can dampen demand. The excess cash generated domestically by American firms beyond their investment budgets is running at $800 billion a year, 4% of GDP. Tax system encourages them to park foreign profits abroad. Abnormally high profits can worsen inequality if they are the result of persistent high prices or depressed wages. Were America's firms to cut prices so that their profits were at historically normal levels, consumers' bills would be 2% lower. And firms are abusing monopoly positions or using lobbying to stifle competition. The game may indeed be rigged. And then they go into this conversation about how, really it's time to start breaking up these giant monopolies, which I've been saying forever.
To watch more clips from our programs, hit the Watch More Videos button over here. And please be sure to hit the handy-dandy subscribe button so you'll always be up to date. Tag, you're it.